It says live.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Um, the topic for my speech is my favorite animal. My favorite animal is cat. Why do I like cat? First reason is that cat is very independent. They're a clean animal. They like to clean themselves. You see that behavior, and they take less care than dogs. Cats are unique animal. Um, they have they have their own personalities. I have two cats, and they are very different. Abby is very aloof. She does not like to be cuddled, while Littlefoot is a lot more friendlier. Um, Cats can be loving. Many people think that cats are not loving because they don't they don't act as friendly as dog. But I think cats are loving in their own unique ways. They seem to choose the people who they like more. For example, my cat Littlefoot, I think she loves my husband more because whenever my husband sit down, she will just go and sit down at his laps. I always say, hey, she never does that to me. The only time Littlefoot will come to me is when I have food in my hand or when I'm eating something. That's when she comes by and sit really close to me because she's hoping for scraps. Um, Cats are also funny. They're very funny in many ways. My cat Abby is a very um, territorial, and she will guard the door, make sure that no other cats will come. We used to have a stray cat that we adopt for a short while. Her name was Siba, and Abby guard the door, make sure that Siba will not come to her room. But one day, Siba went behind Abby and sit behind Abby, while Abby still think that Siba is outside. So that was really funny because the way they do things is quite unique. Another thing about cat that people often think cat cannot be taught tricks. Well, I found that my Littlefoot can be taught something. I thought Littlefoot had to play fetch using crumple up paper ball, and she loved chasing after paper ball. Paper ball, and when she got the paper ball, she will bring it back to me. But sometimes she will just drop it in her food bowl, making it like a some kind of a trophy. Some research I found in some research that stroking animals can reduce blood pressure, and cats they are just perfect for that because they're just so small and they cuddle to you, providing that they like you. Because Littlefoot simply will not let me, or Littlefoot simply will not sit on my laps and let me stroke her the way she does when my husband is around. Last thing that I like cat because I like all cats, big and small, especially those exotic ones like tigers and lions and cheetahs and bobcats, but they're wild. And cat is just a smaller version of those wild cats. Those the one that I cannot own or pet. And cat certainly will be a good replacement or a substitute for those big cats that I could not have as a pet. But that is why I like cats. What else can I say about cats? Well, cats are awesome. Um, there's a YouTube section about grumpy cats, and those are nice when you have your pet bring money for you. But even that, I like my cats just the way they are.
Sorta.
Yes.
Okay, we're still live.
Okay. Did I get the speech done?
Yes.
Okay.
So we did lose connection, but you called right back and it looks like we're live again. So we're just going to keep going with it.
Okay.
Fingers
Hope-
crossed.
yes. Hopefully it's the recorder on my end, because
Yeah,
I did see you gone for a few seconds there, and that's really like, oh, where did she go?
it was the same thing happened earlier. So I'm not sure why it does that, but
Okay.
I have internet connection. I look and make sure that my internet's connected. So who knows? But all right.
Okay. But I did not lose on my end because mine still keep broadcasting, so it should be record what I have.
Right.
Okay. Are you ready for you? Hold on a second. Let me get my timer going here.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
My favorite animal is a dog, preferably a pit bull terrier. I find that they are protective, loyal, and have great personalities. They actually smile. So if you're a pit bull owner, you know right away that they can smile and love to play, and they are super silly. However, most people know them as being an aggressive breed. They are very strong. Uh, their grip on things are very strong. They do have their jaws lock. However, when I first fell in love with pit bulls was when I was 21 and I was living alone in Tampa. And despite everything that I heard about them and how aggressive they were, I wanted something that would protect me because I was living on my own and I wanted to feel a little bit more safe. So I bought a pit bull terrier when he was about 8 to 16 weeks. And it was very difficult raising a puppy, and he was very stubborn. But after probably about 6 months, I trained him pretty well, house trained him. I researched as much as I could and took him to some trainings, and he ended up being the best dog I've ever owned. One of the most important things to remember about pit bulls is that whatever environment that they live in, they need to be around that growing up from a very young age. So, for example, I had my young niece who was only a year old to 2 years old, and I had a younger sister, and I wanted to make sure that my dog was going to be able to be around them and for them to be safe. So as soon as he was just a few weeks, as soon as a month after I had him, I brought him to Sarasota, which is only an hour away from Tampa. And every weekend I would bring him down so the girls would have time around him and they would feed him and they would just get used. And I trained them on how to be with him. Don't put your face in their face, in his face. And, another thing is when they eat, um, they don't like people touching their food or other animals. So what another thing that I was taught was make sure that you play with their food when they're eating, and they'll get used to someone always being around them. So basically, it's as long as you get them used to their environment, whether that be other animals, cats, birds, other dogs, children, even males or females, adults, it doesn't matter. Whatever, you have to have them around other people and animals for them to be well behaved. I ended up getting another dog, a female pit bull, and shortly after I had Mr. Q, and basically he trained her. So it was, a great experience. She didn't need much training as far as house training goes. She just followed his lead, and they were big dogs, but they were my best friends. They were like two, you know, lap dogs. And they were just really sweet and super loyal. When I met my husband, he had a pit bull. And then we ended up with 3 pit bulls in our house. And then we had our first daughter, and I trained the dogs to be around her. I didn't even have to do it that much because they already knew. They were just super respectful, and they did a great, very protective over her. And unfortunately, those dogs have passed away, but we have 2 more pit bulls and a little Boston Terrier who goes right along with them, and she actually rules the house and rules them. So it's funny to watch, and it's just a circus, pure entertainment.
Okay, good.
All right. So how do you think we did, Sorta?
I think we did all right. Um, I think the stress get onto us about trying to get this going too.
I think so. You know?
But this is a good thing. I'm going to stop broadcast,
Okay.
but I think we still